Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Gente team member spotlight in our series for Hispanic Heritage Month. Today, we are with Javier. Javi, can you please tell us a little bit about yourself and your role here at GitLab?
Yeah, sure. I work as a front-end engineer here for marketing, and so pretty much the way that I'd like to talk about that is that we help self-service marketing with technology needs. We often find that um, there's a lot of asks that marketing could use technology for, and so our job is to help make sure that the internal org has the tools it needs to make itself successful. That's the way that I like to put it.
That's awesome. So it's like where technology connects to marketing to ensure that they are successful with their goals.
Yeah, for sure. I think like when I first came here, I didn't realize what that meant. Um, I've learned that really the scale that GitLab operates is what makes this role interesting, and different more so from I think traditional like development roles that you find out there. I think that the most interesting part about it is how you interact with people. With marketing, people in marketing tend to not have the most technical backgrounds, and so how can you meet the stakeholders where they're at in terms of giving them the things that they want, and also just anticipating their needs too. I think that's been something that's big for my team here, is figuring out how to do the right thing for the right people.
Learning to ask questions and communicate must be one of the biggest soft skills you need to be able to work with a non-technical team like that.
Absolutely. And I think it's extremely rewarding in the sense that um you find a way to put different disciplines into practice. And so you'll have um for instance, like campaigns, you'll have people who have asks, and then you have, folks that maybe sit more on SEO who also have asks. You have I've been chatting a little bit about this in the last um, meetup, but we were talking about how different languages affect like the messaging that we have and how that gets communicated across. And so marketing has been good about trying to champion that. And there's been growing pains in that, but it's been a lot of education between myself and then the rest of the team and the folks who are the subject matter experts for that. So that's been very rewarding for us, just seeing those things come to life.
Sounds awesome. Sounds like you have something new every day.
Honestly, yes.
Next question. What inspired you to pursue a career in technology?
It's a great question. I think it's you start off as the kid that's IT for their family, and then that just kind of um takes a life of its own. It didn't really start with anything. I just, you know, I always kind of knew that that's kind of the way that I wanted to go. I just didn't know exactly how that was going to materialize for me. I just kind of followed the things that I thought was interesting, and then eventually, got to where I am now. It's really just like, you know, taking your interests and running with them and seeing where they take you. That's been how I've gotten to where I've gotten so far.
I love that. I'm going to share that with my kids because I keep thinking, how do I help mold them into understanding work doesn't have to be a chore and
Hmm.
it could be something that you actually truly love and enjoy. So following your passion led you to this place.
In all honesty, yeah. I didn't really think too much about like where the stuff. I just knew that like the time investment I put into the skills would take me to where I wanted to go. I haven't taken everything with me, but it's just taking stuff that you can along for the ride.
That's great. How has your Latin heritage influenced your career path?
It's a great question. I think for one, first thing I can think of is just that I feel like for where I am, like I'm based out of San Diego here in California, and I feel like um there's not a lot of folks over here that grew up around software technology. It's not, there's certain places in the world where folks grow up like having, you know, exposure, background, people that have worked in those fields. Not so much for me. I think that's been the biggest impact, demographically speaking. There's a lot of military folks where I grew up, and so I think that impacted the flavor of the city a little bit. Lots of immigrants also impacted the flavor of the city. Um, I'll say that, you know, traditionally speaking, STEM has been underrepresented. And like now that I'm thinking about it, like what made it possible for me to work in software was really just like, you know, targeted investments in folks that look like me, growing up. Um, Really helped kind of bridge that gap, especially that, you know, folks from our side of the pond don't necessarily work in technology. And I think that was big for me. It's just figuring out that, it's a lot of work and it takes a lot of effort, especially like, being considered underrepresented in some capacity.
No, that's great. What that actually makes me want to know what advice you would give other Latinos or Latinas that are pursuing a career in your field, maybe without the access or the environment that would encourage such a career.
Yeah. I think for me, I grew up as the internet was growing up. And I think
Mhm.
um internet access made a big difference for me. It made it easier for me, to do my homework and to learn things on my own. I think that's actually, I think I would say that's probably the biggest piece that echoes across, wherever stage you're at is that self-learning. I think that's probably the easiest way to get ahead, in that sense, because, you know, if you're going to work in a career path where stuff is constantly changing, like technology, I think that's something that it's crucial regardless of where exactly you end up, because that'll make sure that you won't ever stay stagnant within a career that's changing so fast.
Build the skill to be able to do that self-discipline of research and learning
Yeah.
and continually wanting to learn new things.
Yeah. Stay curious more so than anything.
Yeah, stay
That's
curious. That's
always,
awesome.
yeah.
Awesome. Well, this is going by so fast. We're at our last question. What message would you like to share with the GitLab community in celebration of Hispanic Heritage Month?
Um, Let me think about that. I'm not sure. Just it's been awesome to see the TMRG grow. More so than anything. I've seen the involvement of it grow. I don't know if it's I don't know what's come of that, but I mean, I'm just happy to see more people like me work here. I've had more coffee chats in Spanish, which has been awesome. And I do appreciate all of the folks here that do make it, you know, the special place that it honestly is.
That's wonderful. Is there anything that you'd like to add that I haven't asked you to the folks watching or the rest of the GitLab team members?
No, this was awesome. Thanks for putting this together.
Thank you so much for participating, and thanks for to those who are watching, and catch us on our next spotlight. Have a good one.